There's our opening bell for the day. How are we doing? I hope everybody's having a great morning so far today. Welcome up. Welcome to the Stocked Up live stream. Gonna have a pretty crazy day here in the stock market, I can tell you that. Wild CPI reading this morning showed inflation cooling. Pretty good sign, actually, to see inflation cooling like that. I'm surprised that the market does not like that more. SPY has not moved very well since the report came out. It did okay. It did okay, but note how it's only up 0.04% on the day. Not really anything crazy yet, but it would be nice to see the buyers start to come in and push this higher now that the market's opening, especially if the SPY can hold this support here. I think there could be a pretty good bull opportunity for a continuation. Now, if support starts to give out, you might have to start to adapt intraday, but for now, I do like the possibility of support holding. SPY has been pretty wild the past few days, though. It's been overwhelmingly negative in the past day and a half or so. A lot of pullback coming into play here into the end of the week. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw it try to bounce here, personally. That low from pre-market goes all the way down to like 678.50. It was pretty bad. SPY was selling off even more again. Tech has been extremely weak in the short term. Mag 7 was brutal yesterday. Wow, Nvidia is actually pretty rough at open again today. Apple, Meta, Microsoft, Amazon all pointing down, but the SPY doesn't seem to care. Oh, Corsair's holding up the SPY. It's up 50%. Oh my gosh, guys. Corsair, CRSR. Haven't looked at this stock in a long time, sitting at $6.95, up 50% on earnings. Wow. Look at that gap up. Look at how much Corsair had been dying, though. It was brutal past few years for them. Wow. They really died off. How's Logi? LOGI? Logitech? They were doing better, but started doing pretty rough here. There was a big money trade, actually, on them at the end of last year. DraftKings is down with earnings, too. Oh, my gosh. DraftKings down 15%. Now, this one's not unexpected in my eyes. You look at Polymarket, you look at Kalshi, you see all the competition that DraftKings is dealing with the prediction markets, and yeah, they are down a lot. 15% on that breakdown there. That is nasty. 2140, 2120 coming up. Wow. Big previous resistance, which is acting as support close to this $21 area, but my word, what a pullback for DraftKings. That is a massive one. Eric said, where's the support for SPY that you said? Let's go check SPY, because there's a lot of levels from this morning. Mainly 680.80 is what I'm watching for here. There is support from pre-market down at the low around 678.50, but I really like this wick right here, these couple wicks that are touching 680.80. All right, let's get a poll going. Let's get a poll, because the SPY is right around break even right now. Will SPY end up green or red on the overall day today? All right. Green, red, or flat/neutral? Let's see. Will SPY go green or red on the overall day today? Oh, here we go. Testing that support here. Oh, not a good sign. It's literally under the levels now from the inflation move, which is a slight negative. Meta is tanking red. It's a repeat of 2025. AMD in the chip sector doing very well, yeah. How's SNDK today? Everybody's favorite. Just kidding. Some people love it, some people hate it. Go see that SPY price action here. $680.50 is a pretty decent area where SPY just bounced off of, but I would still say it's looking pretty negative overall. I don't like seeing that support give out, but it seems like a very volatile, choppy open. At least if we do sell off, let's sell off like we did yesterday, right? If we do that, I don't mind. Don't mind at all. In 2025, I would wake up doom and gloom. By the end of the year, I was still up 16%. The good guy says MU to the downside. Micron, chip stocks. Moving down a lot here, $400. Breaking off. SNDK was down, of course. Back to NVIDIA really quick. Ooh, pretty straight down. It's not down like 3%, 5%, anything like that, but it is a solid pullback there, down to 184. What's up, Vintage? Welcome in. Yeah, 2025 was a pretty good year, Coconut. I must say that. Hopefully 26 can be better than what it's been so far. I have not It hasn't been terrible, but we definitely haven't seen the type of gains that I would like to see. Holy crap, though. SPY's really pulling back here. 679 now. Coming into play, we're getting towards the low of pre-market at this point. Once that support gave out, it got pretty rough out there. Man. Volatile drop-off. Yeah, J-Duck, if you're watching right now, that's actually going to be implemented this summer. Funny enough. Right now, I have a lot on my hands with the daughter before the live stream, of course, and stuff like that. So, but this summer, it's going to be all changing. From your video earlier this week, you mentioned XYZ block breaking below 52. It's at 49 or lower. I thought still more downside. Let's see. Wow, that was a great breakdown of 52 a couple days later. Took a little while, but it did end up breaking it down. That was solid once it broke, but wow. Of course, it was yesterday while everything sold off. I do think that there could be more bearish price action with XYZ as well. Look at it on the daily. That's a pretty bad sell-off. It's hard to catch a falling knife like this, so I would continue looking at it down. Of course, any single day can end up green or red, but I like it. Hair got wrecked. Today, Mason said another day, another puts print. So on the SPY, we need to go out on like an hourly because I'm going to show you guys this major support range coming up here on the daily chart. And this is a big range for the SPY here. Between like 675.50 and like 678 or so. The SPY has been bouncing in that range time after time again here. There's like 3 to 4 perfect hits on the chart here. But whenever I look at SPY today, you know, it's getting down into that range. Is it going to be able to really break below this? That's the $1 million question. It's already recovering back, getting back towards resistance. The inflation data was good, but are we going to continue down yesterday? Again, that's the $1 million question right now. I don't like the way that SPY broke the pre-market lows. To me, that's a big negative. The good thing is that it recovered very fast. We'll see how it goes today, but it seems like a very choppy, hard to trade morning so far with all these crazy back and forth moves at least. I would much rather it start to play out like yesterday morning. Because this little recovery is starting to look pretty good, just like that sell-off was. It's pretty much mimicking itself. Now I need to actually make the moves on your suggest, and I'll land one soon. I'm usually pulling out early and missing nice profits. Yeah, hey, feel free to like scale out. You can maybe use like the candle snap rule as well, Eric. If you're in the trading floor, you can go check out the Getting Started channel and check out the candle snap. Pretty good strategy. AMAT is way up. AMAT. Applied Materials. 12%. Oh, they had earnings last night. I see. I was like, this doesn't look that much. They said inflation data is good if you exclude everything that you actually buy. Like excluding food and energy, you mean? At least it didn't pop up. Well, I guess the core inflation year over year, month over month did. But the core inflation year over year still did okay. Tesla is coming all the way back here, guys. 416. I remember one time Warren Buffett said, he goes, I don't know why people look at core inflation. He goes, I don't know what's more core, food or energy. Because it makes a lot of sense, right? Like food and energy are very core to like everybody. People spend lots of money on gas, lots of money on food. That makes sense. Yesterday, what I heard, there are no tariffs if I don't buy American. Oh no, he said there are no tariffs if you don't buy American. I'm like, great concept there. I appreciate it, man. I watch every day. I'm looking forward to the videos. Nice work. Thank you, Eric. Thank you, sir. I like that. Made 10 bucks off UVXY, Tangy Man said. UVXY Pro Shares. Ultra VIX short-term futures ETF. Had a nice pop this morning, then died off. Tangy Man says 10 bucks, guys. $10 on this one. Wow, Tangy. Look at it on the daily. It's kind of strange how it's moving like that. Of course, the VIX has been choppy with the way the SPY has been doing it, what it's been doing as well. VIX. Let's zoom out on the VIX a little bit because I'm looking at it in the short term. It's definitely elevated. It's starting to run a little bit. I like the way the VIX is moving there. $22. Nice resistance. Sitting right there, of course. For the VIX to really run, we're going to need that SPY to really drop off and not continue this uptrend that it's been on recently. In the short term, the SPY's been really testing the waters here. Really testing the waters around this lower range. I really like 676. I know technically the SPY extended under 676 recently and dropped down to lows around 671, but I'm a big fan of still looking at the 676 breakdown. I think that's the main area of support here. What stocks are you guys seeing on this Friday the 13th? So far, not the best price action, I would say, from the SPY. Up, down, up, down. Coinbase, though. Yeah, up and down moves as well. But it is up 8%, which is a tall task. Nvidia is now pushing lower, back towards the low of the day for now. We'll see how that plays out. SPY actually ripped above the pre-market high a minute ago, touched 683, 683.30, and immediately rejected. Wow. Talk about a heartbeat monitor type of move. It's like... wild up and down action. Which direction, right? There's really no direction being picked either. It's like the market wants to buy it up, but there's like forces at play that will not allow resistance to break right now. It's pretty hilarious. RCAT is up, Tangy says. 1% on the day right now. Nothing too crazy with RCAT. Some pulling back quite a bit in the short term, though. It's time to short some put options on RCAT, Tangy. AMAT earnings are doing good. Let's see. Oh yeah, pretty good. Pretty good jump. 10%. We looked at this one a few minutes ago, but rejecting back down off of pre-market highs. Overall, though, it had a really good jump. GLXY, Galaxy Digital. Up to $21. MSTR, 130. MicroStrategy, beautiful, 130, 150. That's nice. The daily's starting to come back a little bit with MicroStrategy. We might start to see some shorts covering maybe a little bit. I could see MicroStrategy trying to make a comeback here. How's Bitcoin? I'm sure it's coming back slightly. Yeah, pretty much the same chart. Self is up. Self-storage, Tangy 0.2%. Oh. Now you're playing games. Trying to figure out the bottom for Palantir to get in for a play. When you say the bottom, do you mean on like an intraday basis or like a daily chart? Right now, Palantir's actually holding its base really well. Trying to pop back. I like the price action and setup so far with Palantir. Wish the SPY had that type of price action. There's a nice green 1 minute on the SPY. Pushing back up a little bit. Might be heading back to that high of day. You're looking for a long play. Oh, like long term? In that sense, I would definitely be more patient than where we are now. But as far as a day trade goes, Palantir does look pretty strong for a day trade, but on the daily chart, I'm definitely worried about Palantir falling down more. I think that there's more sell-off in store for good old Palantir here. Over the next few weeks to couple months. Could be wrong, but that's definitely the way I'm leaning, given that support just broke down and a little bit of negativity there in AI. 42 votes in the poll. Will SPY end up green or red on the overall day today? So far, it's a hard poll this morning to choose because SPY has not really chosen a direction at all. Red's actually leading the vote, even with the cooling inflation. Anybody doing anything special for Valentine's Day? Oh gosh, Jerry said, what's the biggest percentage play you've ever hit, Tom? Oh man, that's tough. Man, Jerry, I used to have some wild ones back in the day. Probably like, man, I'd say probably like 5,000 to 10,000%, something like that. Gosh, I used to go crazy, Jerry. I used to just do, you know how whenever you're very new to options, right? You don't really know too much what you're doing. Back in like 2000 and hell, like 18, 2017, something like that, I started learning options, and whenever I learned them, I really got into the short-term, you know, very quick, like zero DTE type of action, and I used to, you know, catch some pretty crazy movers every now and again. But keep in mind, whenever you're trading stuff that's like, you know, 2 cents, which would be $2 a contract, and then you're running it up to like $200 a contract, you know, at the same time, it's not necessarily like something that you should be going after, right? It's kind of dumb. Kind of dumb. I would say the best, like, real percentage that's, like, not crazy, like 1,200%. Without being, like, you know, the little crazy zero DTE type stuff. which isn't really that much if you think about options. You know, you can catch 1,000% gains fairly easy, especially if you're swinging an option, like, and you're catching a true trend, right? $45 votes. Get those votes going, guys. Get it going. That's your cue to vote. Will the SPY go red or green on the overall day today? Let's have a conversation on this inflation data, though. How do you guys like it? Is the numbers cooked? Everybody's saying that lately, too. Just throw it in the chat. Do you guys trust the numbers or not? You can be like, I trust them. I don't trust them. Trust. Don't trust. Curious what you guys think. But the inflation rate year over year came in at 2.4%, under expectations, well under the previous reading of 2.7%. If we look at the updated inflation chart, I mean, that's a pretty low reading. That matches the second lowest reading over the past year. That's pretty good. Now, if we look at the past 3 years, again, that's pretty low. The lowest it's been is 2.3% over the past 3 years. Right? Yeah, 2.3%. So we're essentially at like the lowest end of the inflation readings over the past 5 years, if we're honest with ourselves. In a couple months, these readings from 2021 will fall off and we'll be at the lowest levels in 5 years. I mean, that doesn't seem like terrible inflation to me. This doesn't mean that there's not spending problems in the United States, though. Now, that's a different story. Let's see what you guys say here. Oh, wow. Lots of cooked comments. Kenny says cooked. Jerry said, I heard early 2015 to 2018 were the craziest years for options. Oh, maybe I picked the best time. No confidence in the CPI number, Dizzy Spider said. Coconut said the government would never lie. Wink, wink. J-Duck, can't trust anything in this administration. Jerry said, it's Simp, by the way. Oh, I forgot. Sorry, Simp. Jerry. Like the OG Simp? What's up? Let's go. That is awesome. Welcome back.
All right, all right, all right.
When I paid for meat yesterday at Whole Foods, it felt like the price went up, but according to the numbers, it should have gone down. When I paid for meat yesterday at Whole Foods, the price went up. Yeah, keep in mind that that's like a nationwide reading on that meat. It's hard to say on location. Where are you located at, good guy? Steven said, I try not to get political, but there is not a hint of honesty in any part of this admin, especially the numbers. Yeah, you know, a lot of people have differing opinions out there. I'm not trying to get too crazy into it either, but hey, you know, it's fair. And whenever you're talking about data that affects the stock market, it's a true conversation to have. And it's okay. Happy Friday, J-Bass. Happy Friday. Friday the 13th. Ooh, that actually, hang on. Friday the 13th, let's see. Ooh, here we go. I hope that wasn't too loud. It seemed pretty loud. Yeah, make sure to destroy that like button, guys, if you're joining up. Helps us in the YouTube algo, of course. But yeah, destroy it. You got some steaks to cook the wife for Valentine's Day since you can't afford to go out, good guy said. That's funny. I actually went out this past weekend for Valentine's Day. This weekend for Valentine's Day, we're not doing much because we have our daughter and all of that, so it's always hard to find people to watch her on Valentine's Day. But we're definitely going to chill out here and make something. Since my fiance is pregnant, we can't have steak. She can't have steak anyways. So I got to figure something out to make that she can eat. McDonald's? We eat that enough. My AR-38 call is going so well right now. I thought the storms would help natural gas. Yeah, it's just not moving right now. I know what you mean. It's just not getting any movement. Yeah. It's still sitting in this range, which kind of sucks. It needs to start moving, though, because we're getting close to expiration, but it's really not fallen off that much in reality. But if it starts to break under 33, that's where I'm going to be very worried with it. Chicken cordon bleu. I think she actually loves that. I don't love it, but it's okay. That's not a bad suggestion, though. QQQ holding the $600 level. NASDAQ. 5-minute support. 597.50. Boom. How's McDonald's? MCD. Pulling back. 335. Pretty stiff pullback from open. MCD had new all-time highs going yesterday as they beat earnings. And now today they started to break out, but immediately pulled back. That sucks. Kind of bull-trapped everyone there. Look at SPY. SPY's starting to point back up in my eyes. I like the setup here, and I'm more bullish than bearish on it. Sorry about that, guys. Beef Wellington, Jack said. That's exactly what she can't eat. It has to be well done, and I don't want my steak like that. Oh, man, that sounds really good, though. Palantir, 1.22%, extending higher, holding well right at the high of day today. Looking at the watch list, of course, Corsair is now up 64%. It has continued to climb higher. I almost can't believe that the continuation is happening in the way that it is with Corsair. Check Walmart, Nowhere Man said. Double bottoming. Kind of down on the day, though, which sucks, but starting to come back. Bitmine, BMNR, up 4.8%. It's starting to actually climb higher, too. Moving well, I would assume, with Bitcoin and Ethereum popping back a bit today. Keep your eyes on BMNR, possibly even Coinbase. Coinbase is right around its high of the day, too. Well, it is making highs of the day. Looking like a pretty fun recovery move starting to come in. This could be a sector that goes under the radar here for all the scalpers out there. Be ready. The good guy said Moderna's moving. mRNA up 8.2%. I like that double bottom around 42.75. That's a good one. QQQ as well. Yeah, nice hold there. Tech's coming back alive a little bit. Go to the Mag 7. Everything's starting to turn up a little bit. Sim said not related, but what's the toughest part of fatherhood been? Good question. The toughest part has been... That's a really good one. The toughest part's really been trying to manage work and manage the baby. But I would say the toughest, like, sentimental thing is trying not to overly worry about him. Sometimes you're like overly careful and you don't, let them do things to like explore and stuff, but Patience. When all my kids are screaming at the same time, ask God for patience, Ramirez says. Yeah, she taught me patience, but I've had pretty good patience already. But man, Mag 7 is all over the place today. Seriously, some stocks are down, some are up. Microsoft just took a pretty big tumble and has some decent volume coming in. What just hit with that? Dipped down to around $400 and started bouncing. Yeah, that's what I'd say, Jerry. Especially while they're really young, because, like, you know, you don't want to put, like, a 1-year-old into, like, daycare or something, you know? But my fiance is going to start staying at home this summer, and that's going to be a huge help, so. Consolidation. SPY's been pretty much consolidating all morning. Hasn't been moving at all. 63 votes in the poll, and red is still leading the way at 52% of the vote. I'm kind of surprised by that today. Especially considering the inflation data, but hey, that's the vote. Demir says, no, we're going neutral. That's what it seems like right now. Will it stay here all day, though? That's the $1 million question. KTOS springboard off the bottom. Kratos. Defense up 4.11% here. Yeah, it really is starting to spring off the bottom, isn't it? Other defense companies have been doing much better, like Lockheed, which is still ripping today. My gosh, Lockheed is crushing it. Northrop has been doing good. They're pushing resistance. GD, General Dynamics. Oh, they're actually down a little bit, but man, Lockheed's been doing great. Yeah, Kratos, though. Kratos, I should say. Sorry, I was pronouncing the stock ticker, but I don't want that to confuse anybody. It is almost time for March Madness, Mason. I forgot about that. Are we going to do a fantasy baseball this year? Palantir bouncing off 126 on the daily. Still trying to push that high of day. Palantir's holding up very close to the high of day here. they could start to make a push for a run. Baseball might be too tough. I bet everybody would quit on baseball halfway in, or like a month in. I can't get off of Palantir's chart here. It looks too strong. There we go. New high of the day. Let's see if it can make a good push here, though. Good breakout opportunity. Inverse Bury. At least on a day trade, right? Happy Friday, though. Friday the 13th. Everybody's all excited for this Friday the 13th deal today. The market hasn't historically done very well on Friday the 13th. Let me see if I can pull that data up. On Friday the 13th in February, this has occurred 13 times, and the markets went red like 61.5% of the time. That's pretty wild. The average return is negative 0.04%, which shows it doesn't really move much. It's weird, though, how in March, the average return is so strong. In August, the same deal. Look at Friday the 13th in June, July, and August. The market goes green like 78, 71, 76%. That's wild. TTD's breaking down the trade desk. Down 0.11% here today. It is making a good push towards the pre-market low. The low from yesterday is going to be coming up very soon on TTD. Gonna go look at some news. Scanning some headlines here. I'm not really seeing anything that's standing out today, really. You know what was a little bit wild yesterday and even the past couple days that I've been eyeing up myself is if we go look at like the 10-year bond yields, we can see that the yields are starting to really fall off here the past couple trading days. I found this to be very interesting. One other thing is, don't forget, guys, there's no trading on Monday. Yes, no trading Monday. It's going to be President's Day. Or it's Washington's birthday, right? Yeah, Washington's birthday. Coming up on Monday. So be ready. Monday, February 16th. No trading. The market will open up on Tuesday, February 17th. So enjoy your day off Monday. Make sure to check out the video Monday night. We'll definitely be posting that up, though. So check that out. We can get it going. Nice little day off. And then we also have more earnings coming up next week as well. It's going to be another fun earnings week. Not going to be as big, possibly, as the past couple, but we are going to see some big reports. Which earnings are your favorite? I know Tangy Man's favorite's going to be Energy Transfers. I can already see it now, or SSR Mining or something. Let's see if we can really find one here. If Autumn was here, she'd get a kick out of Figma reporting. Autumn, Figma, FIG. It's starting to hold $20 down here. If there was any time to buy, I would think it would be soon. All right. Sounds off a double bottom here. Sound hound moving. Coin and MSTR win, Nowhere said. Coinbase. That's a nice jump up here. 16.44%. No kidding. Yes, they do. Those stocks have been extremely strong today. I remember earlier we were talking about a possible sector that could do well, and this being one of them today that seemed like it was moving better than others. I love the price action here. This is fantastic. 8.9%. ASTS Chansey says, SPY breakout. SPY is breaking out. Wow, there we go. SPY's going green. Finally, with that good inflation data, it's about time. I know everybody voted red in the poll today, but green has been coming back in the poll now. There's 72 total poll votes, and we are seeing a bit of uptrend on the green vote anyways. SPY is starting to move a bit better though. Can't talk today.
Today, Junior?
Oh gosh. Don't start making fun of me now. Let's go, Zachary. Thanks for the call while I was looking at individual stocks there. SPY hitting 185. Sorry, Nvidia hitting 185. Going for a possible breakout there. See if it can come back and help fuel this overall rally. Apple's bouncing well. Yeah, Apple's actually moving pretty good. Bouncing off of 259. BTC's at 69K. Really popping up here. Love it. BMNR moving. Breaking out above 21. Wow, really exploding here with Coinbase and MicroStrategy. Let's go. Or I mean strategy, sorry. That ticker symbol still gets me sometimes. And that name change. Pinterest is going down, good guy said. PINS. 21% to the downside, starting to turn back over intraday. Massive gap down with earnings here. The last time they reported, they gapped down as well in another similar fashion. Wow. Yeah, this stock is getting crushed. Pinterest. Let's scroll out and see how bad they've done recently. Oh my gosh. Since COVID, they've really died off. Does anybody out there really use Pinterest? The only person I know who uses Pinterest is my mom. I'm not saying that's a bad thing either. I'm just saying that's the only person I know. Maybe my fiance's used it once or twice or something, but... Maybe. Tangy Man said Midwest moms. Compton says my wife. I know it's just an app that it feels like it's not really gaining any traction or anything out there. I'm not too surprised to see the stock down. On the 5-minute, Tesla's pulling back slightly. SPY was moving well. Just pulled back though on the 1-minute chart. How's UPS doing? Compton, I've been loving UPS recently. This has been, as far as like a hold, this is like one of the holds that I've been liking a lot recently. I will say yesterday, in the middle of that sell-off, I took a lot of profits on UPS though. So at this point, it's just kind of holding some stragglers, but overall, love the momentum. I'm holding it from like down here though. It's been one of the main ones here. Disney has been one that I'm eyeing up on the dip. If Disney can break through support here and start to fall through $100 down into this bottom zone again, I'm actually going to be picking up a lot of Disney as well. But I really want to see it start to fall through here and get to this lower zone of support again. It could always bounce from this point, but I'm not super confident in it. Yeah, DraftKings is a decent one right now, too. They're up for a correction, you said? The problem that they have right now is they have so much competition. Yeah, I like how you mentioned Flutter, too, with FanDuel. But whenever we look at DraftKings and FanDuel, they're getting hit really hard from like Kalshi and Polymarket. It's starting to drive a lot of competition into the betting space, and we have to be careful here. I'm looking at this bottom range for DraftKings. I'm pretty worried about the way that they're starting to drop right now. This stock is no stranger to large drops, and I actually wouldn't be surprised if it started to push towards like $18, $17, something like that. But I am a fan of starting to average in. You know, it's at a pretty low price overall. The one thing I say, though, with DraftKings is you have to really be willing to dollar cost average. I would probably only enter like 10% of the intended position here, if I'm being honest. "2026 is the year of the competitor. If you're not competing, you're doomed," Tangy Man posted. Interesting thought. James said, "Remember Disney's price during COVID?" Let's go jog our memory. Oh, yeah. Before COVID, or you mean the after move? Yeah, because that was crazy with Disney Plus there, as they pivoted to the streaming app. They've actually been bouncing off of that COVID low. That's where they've been holding support all these times. Mason Nichols said, "Game over." Man, look at that chop on SPY still coming in. It made that new push out to new highs of the day and immediately turned back over. It says Supreme Court sets February 20th as the next possible ruling date for President Trump's tariffs. February 20th, coming up in about a week. So next Friday. Let's look at these earnings again coming up next week. Walmart's going to be reporting. We're going to see quite a bit of stocks reporting here. What is your favorite stock? I want to see it in the chat. And also, don't forget to vote up in the poll if you haven't yet either. How's that SPY going to end up today? Still curious how this vote's going to go. What's your favorite stock reporting next week? There's not too much, really. I believe Nvidia is going to report next week. Not next week, in 2 weeks. The week after this one. Let's go look at earningswhispers.com. Oh, hang on. That's Twitter. Here we go. Yep, they report Wednesday the 25th. Wow, SPY's all the way back down now to 680, 80 to 681. Are you kidding me right now? All right, let's go back to that earnings and see what you guys were thinking is the favorites out there. Yeah, good guy. You know, the CEO change, that was like a thing that they had planned for. So I like it. I like it. The CEO that was in there, I believe, had taken over after previously being CEO after Disney had done pretty rough. But I hope the new CEO can really spark some optimism here over the next few months or so. I think it's an interesting step. You know, these companies do this quite often, but Disney seems like they go through CEOs every couple of years. It's kind of funny. Ken Ross, okay. Walmart, NVO is at a good spot too. NVO just had a big sell-off recently. But yeah, they are actually at a decent spot on the chart. Decent spot on the chart, but the stock is definitely down quite a bit. I've been eyeing this one up a lot, Jane. I own some NVO, but it's a very small position. It'll be interesting to see how it does over the next few weeks if this range holds. On the daily chart, Tesla looks like it wants to sell off. This is pretty weird setup here. Palantir pulling back like crazy right now. 126 coming up. What is this? Please try again. What are they talking about? Your chop is real. You pick open as a potential BK? A bankruptcy? Bankruptcy, uh-oh. That's a good call, Tangy. Now that's a wild one. But Tangy, they have technology in their name. How could that happen? Carvana moved below the 200 moving average on the daily. That's what Nowhere Man's throwing out there. It's actually sitting on a long-term trend line right now, too. If it breaks that down, it's going to be pretty rough. I know we've been looking at this trend line quite a bit. Your hubby has an interview today. If he gets this, we get a 100% pay raise. Whoa. Let's go, Jane. You better give him a good pep talk. Tangy Man, how dare you? How dare you, Tangy Man?
How dare you?
Man, Tesla's just a snooze chop fest today. Same with the SPY. We had that good action for a couple minutes, like 10 minutes to the upside there. Besides that, gosh, it's been pretty brutal. Pretty brutal with this price action. Good for scalps. In and out of puts today. Made handsome and young. Jane, sometimes the way that you word things just really cracks me up. I don't know what it is. It's almost like you're saying a story. Eyeing up the SM bot for a little bit of action here right now. QBTS calls are on the bot. Quantum? QBTS isn't terrible here, really. CDE calls. FRO. Frontline. Stock's been ripping lately. Never even heard of it. FRO, interesting one. So many stocks out there in the market. Compton said, what do I think of Amazon calls? I'm assuming you mean for a day trade. It doesn't look terrible in my eyes. I like the way that Amazon's setting up here. There's a clear trend that it's been following down intraday. I'm kind of mixed on it, honestly, given the price action from the past couple days. But what I would look for is confirmation up and through these wicks here. If you see some good confirmation up through these wicks, you could go for calls on the break. Or you could enter calls now, or maybe wait for a slight rejection back down and then enter back up. I would prefer entering on the rejection, but I like the possibility of Amazon popping here. You know, it's holding the base really well. And I love the way it's trending down off of this. Once that trend breaks, I could see it popping up more. That'll put it right at 200 once it starts breaking and popping, so that'll be a big resistance there at 200 after this, but if the momentum really picks up, it could probably even break through that. There you go, Jane. Website and SEO analyst. Boom. That'll be fun. Cisco's on fire here, 0.81%. Look at the intraday run on the 1-minute chart with Cisco. I know everyone was watching Cisco die with earnings yesterday, and they are coming back today in a pretty strong fashion, at least on the intraday chart. Not necessarily percentage-wise, but Costco doing quite well today, up almost 2%. Look at Costco breaking out, guys. Breaking through the $1,000 resistance. I might go to Costco later today, actually. You have cost covered calls at 1025. There you go. Pretty good jump by Costco. Yeah, so 1025. You might get called away unless they're today. If they're today, you'll probably be okay, but if they expire next week, you might get called away. Which is hopefully fine. Oh, it is today. Okay. Very interesting. That's cool. That's going to be fun for you today. You're going to be watching it market close like a hawk on Costco. Let's go ahead and look at the economic calendar for next week. Don't forget, guys, market on Monday is closed. No trading Monday. February 16th. It's George Washington's birthday. No trading. We'll be back Tuesday. We'll be back on the live Tuesday, but check out the video Monday night. We will have a video releasing, of course, like we do every night before a trading day. Unless it's like the Friday after Christmas or something weird, but... Economic calendar for next week, Tuesday. Nothing too crazy, bar and daily speeches. Wednesday, building permits, durable goods, housing starts. FOMC minutes at 2 p.m. Wednesday. Okay, that'll be pretty big. Thursday, an hour before open, we're going to see Bostic speak, Bowman speak, initial jobless claims, Kashkari at 9 a.m. Wow, lots of Fed speakers there. Friday, personal income, personal spending, GDP, PCE index. That'll be huge whenever we get that PCE data next Friday, too. Kind of show how... See how it says personal spending? That's what a lot of people are worried about right now, is that people are still spending. Inflation might not be going through the roof, but people are still spending. My attorney is our mayor. Wow. The attorney is the mayor. That's pretty wild. What if the attorney was the judge? That would be perfect. Kidding, guys. SPY's still in this chop zone. I'm sorry SPY's been so choppy and boring today. I feel like there hasn't really been that much good price action except for Coinbase and Strategy. And now even those slowed down. Rivian's up 20%. Did they have earnings? Yep, they did last night. They did pretty well, though. Let's see, Rivian. How are they looking? Okay. They recently got pretty close to the trend again. Started bouncing. Interesting jump today, though. Earnings. I haven't read into the earnings at all, but good reaction anyhow. Does anybody out there hold Rivian? I'm curious if people hold that. Same with Lucid. I'm curious if any of you guys still have that or not. Your mechanic was your tax guy? Now that's a pretty weird one. Tansy said one of them's going under this year. We'll see about that. Coconut said, it feels like traders are looking for the most beaten up stocks to buy. Or the most value-oriented stocks like Walmart, which is about to make a new all-time high here today. Wow, Walmart came back. Target's moving, Costco's moving. Nike's going to make a new daily high, Blue Eyed said. NKE. It's a good jump back today, 2.78%. They've been consolidating pretty well down in this lower range. I actually like Nike quite a bit down here. I like it as it gets towards this lower range. I could see it attempting to make a hold here on the daily. Your stop loss on cost covered calls just hit. Oh. Yeah, I guess you have to let the stop play or else let your shares go. At your weekly dinner. Was it a stop that ended up making profit, though? Oh, okay, you did end up losing. Okay. Tesla wants 420. It's really roaring back. I lean to the upside here with Tesla. I still even lean up with SPY, although SPY is coming back pretty well now. But I lean up with SPY given that inflation data today. I don't really lean towards a big, massive sell-off again, but who knows? Maybe we'll see something crazy happen. At least the inflation data was positive. It was positive for the market for the most part. Let's go look at the chance of rate cuts at the June meeting. Fed decision in June. The chances of rate cuts increased slightly today, which is good. Rate cuts increased as we saw the data come out, but it didn't really increase that much, if I'm being honest. Like 3 or 4, it changed by 4% at the peak. So not that crazy. Ten baggers, what? SPY rejecting down at the high of the day. Surprise, surprise. More consolidation. Okay, guys, I think we're going to go ahead and call the stream there today. It's been a pretty wild week and news-driven week in the market here. There's been a lot of craziness going on. A lot of up and down price action. A lot of news hitting, jobs data, inflation data, earnings. Updates with the government shutdown, which is still supposed to happen. Don't forget about that. Government shutdown supposed to happen tonight at midnight. Technically Saturday, but we should see the shutdown. Here we go. Here's the Kalshi odds. 92.2% chance that we're going to see that. Pretty big. Let's go, though. Happy Friday the 13th. The market's not that bad for being Friday the 13th, but it's not great either. We really need to see that good push up in the afternoon rather than this chop. If we do start to get that uptrend after the stream, feel free to hop in the Discord, hit the discussion channel, chat it up. If you're trading this afternoon, maybe the SM chat if you're in the trading floor. Not too much next week till Friday with the PCE data. And also, next Friday, the Supreme Court could be ruling on Trump's tariff, so that's a big one too. But okay, guys, we're going to go ahead and call it there. I appreciate you joining up. Thank you, guys. Let's have a great week and have a fun weekend. See ya.